Thank you so much for being here today, everybody. I hope it's great wherever you are. Can you believe it's May? It's like almost half of the year is gone. It's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. But today we're here to talk about how you can boost your nonprofit's efficiency with Foxit's PDF Editor Plus. That sounds exciting, right? I'm looking forward to it because I do a lot of PDFs. So I'm looking forward to learning about this. My name is Aretha Simons. I'm the webinar producer here. If you haven't met me yet, here's how you can engage. You guys know you're on mute. So if you would like the closed caption, just tap on the CC button at the bottom of your screen. We would love if you would put your questions in the Q&A. But we know you're going to put it in the chat and we'll grab them as we're going along. This is being recorded. And one thing I want to make sure, you're going to see a 2-question survey that's going to pop up on your screen when you exit Zoom. Maybe you have to leave early. Please take 2 seconds or 2 minutes and fill that out and let us know what more you would like to hear from Foxit. I'm going to move out of the way and turn this over to Kai Villa. He's the Director of Strategy Alliances at Foxit Solutions, and Ian Vincent. He's the North America Pre-Sales Manager at Foxit Solutions. Have a great webinar.
Yeah, thanks, Aretha. And thanks everyone for joining. So my name is Kai Villa, and I'll share my screen and we'll do a quick introduction of what is Foxit all about and what is that opportunity around PDF editing and digital signature for, of course, nonprofits. So let's get right into it. The question is, of course, who needs PDF editing and who needs digital signature technology? And the answer pretty much is everybody in just about every organization, whether or not that's sales or marketing folks or HR, finance, legal, and so on throughout the organization. In most organizations, we find 25-35% of the staff has that need to work with PDF files, merge, split, convert, forms, and so on. And of course, from an e-sign perspective, lots of folks, especially on the legal side, sales side, HR side, that have that need to get other people to sign documents. But also from a nonprofit perspective, industry-wise, we see lots of use in financial services, of course, legal services, logistics, healthcare, education, and so on. Lots of markets that have the need for this type of technology. And so that's why we're excited to be working with TechSoup as our partner to bring fantastic value to the nonprofit market. So the question, of course, is, well, just why would you do this with Foxit? What makes us just so special? And it's really about 3 components, right? It's about flexibility, but it's about fit. And of course, it's about, is it a good deal for you? And so how is it more flexible? Well, you get an annual subscription, but you can add licenses anytime. Just one coupon code purchased from TechSoup gets you fantastic pricing. You can add users anytime and continue to get access to that special pricing. No need to go back and get more coupon codes from TechSoup. You will, of course, then need a new coupon code after the year in order to renew for year 2. So that's the easy way to manage it. It's nice and flexible that way. But what you will get is not just technology, but in fact an admin console that makes it easy to now manage the users within your organization. Because if you have a whole bunch of users, you don't want everyone with individual accounts. And what if somebody leaves the organization or somebody's computer dies? It's really nice to have a console that makes it easy to now be able to move the license to maybe a new employee that has just joined, or and not have things tied up to a physical device. And it's a great fit because it's one product that will handle both the PDF editing as well as the e-signing component. And Ian is here to give us a live demo in a little bit, so you can get a feeling just what that's going to look like. And then finally, it's a great deal. It's $49.99 a year, and with no increase in year 2 or any gains there. It's just $49.99 year in, year out per user. So that makes it very competitive in the market, and a ton of technology, considering you're not just getting a PDF editor, but you're also getting a full digital signature solution. So let's talk about just what are you getting, right? And so we built this out here real quick. You're getting a PDF editor that matches the Acrobat Pro feature set. That's the important thing component here. It works on Windows, it works on a Mac, it works on a web browser, works on your mobile device. So pretty much whatever device you've got, it will work on it. But you also get that full digital signature solution, and you get some AI tech, Foxit smart redaction technology. For those of you that have the need to redact that social security number or that credit card number, that can be painful to do manually. So here's some smart redaction tech that will identify all that content that might need to be redacted and really save you a lot of time in helping to make sure that you're not missing things that maybe should have been redacted, but also then with one click, everything's redacted. So it'll save you a lot of time, but also make sure you didn't miss anything. Also, Foxit AI Assistant is in the product as well. 20 prompts a month where you get ChatGPT 4.0 level AI assistance for document rewrites, translations, and things like that, or document summaries and 100 other things. If 20 prompts are not enough, well, you can, of course, buy the full AI assistant and add that on. And like I mentioned earlier, you get that Foxit admin console that even has single sign-on support for those of you that have a larger IT infrastructure. Single sign-on will be a fabulous tool so that everyone can just with one click get into the product. No need for special login credentials for Foxit. So that's what's in the package, but let's talk about this PDF editor. You get a full-featured PDF editor product with all the functionality that you're used to. And you know what we find is that, yes, I could drone on about 1 million features here, but what most people care about is just one thing. Does it do what Acrobat does? You know, because people tend to come to us from their current Acrobat license. And the answer is yes, we match the functionality of Acrobat Pro in the product, 99% feature match. The reason we don't say 100%, of course, is that well, both Adobe and Foxit are still developing the products. So if we said 100%, we would be liars in 3 weeks. But our approach to it is completely different. And as you'll get that demo from Ian in a little bit, you'll see that our product will look just like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. We intentionally set it up to look just like Office 365 because typically the kind of person that needs a PDF editor tends to use Word, Excel, and PowerPoint all day long. And so giving you something that looks and feels and functions the same way makes user adoption super simple. And then even better, we find that no one wants to read the manual these days, but everyone loves YouTube in order to get a little help. So we've embraced that. So right there in the help menu, and Ian will show you, you'll find tutorial videos, quick 2 to 3 minute videos. So going back to my social security number example, if you don't know how to redact a social security number, great, a 2-minute video and you'll know how, right? And so we find that people love that because users are empowered to get things done without reading a manual or without making a support call. All right, and so then the other side of things is, of course, the e-sign technology. Again, a full-featured e-sign solution that has all the bells and whistles. But what do people care about? Well, where are they coming from? They tend to come from a DocuSign or Adobe Sign. So what do they care about is, can I do what I've been doing with DocuSign or Adobe Sign? And the answer is, yes, you can. If you use the browser-based user interface, yes, it's a little more efficient than DocuSign when you use Foxit, but in fact, most people actually love that we've integrated the e-sign experience directly into the PDF editor so that one application does all your editing and e-signing. And of course, those videos aren't limited to PDF editing. They're also available for e-sign. Now you might ask, okay, Foxit, but I haven't heard of these guys. Who's using Foxit? Well, we've got a logo slide. Okay, great. You know, logo slides are boring, right? I mean, here's some fun logos on here. The thing to think of it, the way to think of Foxit is that you, every one of you, is using Foxit every day. because we started out in 2001 as a software development toolkit company that specialized on PDF SDKs. And so we sold those toolkits to thousands of companies, and among them, Google and Amazon and Microsoft. And so how is this relevant? Well, for more than a decade now, the Google Chrome browser has leveraged Foxit technology to render PDFs. Same thing with Microsoft Edge, same thing on the Amazon Kindle. So what does that mean? Well, let's say you're in Gmail and somebody sends you a PDF attachment. When you click that PDF attachment, it will display that PDF directly in the Chrome browser or the Edge browser or on the Kindle, and of course in thousands of other apps. So meaning more than 2 billion people use Foxit technology every day, and so do you. And so when you think about who's using Foxit, the answer is everybody. So, all right, so wrapping things up, what does Foxit do as a company? We're a PDF shop. Everything we do is focused around the PDF file format with PDF editing, digital signature. You just heard about these software development toolkits. And if any one of you have thousands and thousands of files that you need to convert, reach out to us. We do also have mass document conversion tools. The global view on Foxit, you know who the #1 PDF provider on the planet is. Foxit is #2, more than 500,000 customers, 1,000 employees. We're about 150 million a year business with offices around the globe. Tech support, 24/7, with a team in California answering the telephone during US business hours. And so that's my quick overview of Foxit, just to give you a feeling for what you're getting yourself into and how much it is and how we think it's unique. But I suspect most of you want me to shut up already so you can get to what's more interesting, which is a live demo from Ian, so you can get a feeling for what does it look like and how does it work. So I'll stop sharing and turn things over to Ian. Do we have questions in the chat that I can answer in the meantime? I see one, $49.99. Is that Canadian or US dollars? It is US dollars. And in fact, on the Foxit website, we are only in the US with that pricing right at the moment. So that's one thing to point out. Right, what else do we have in the questions here?
Kai, the other one pertains to AI and turning off the licensing from the admin console, which I'll be able to show here in just a minute.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Yes, you can turn AI off.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a problem.
Oh, yeah, we're very flexible with that. So, all right.
Did I miss other questions?
As far as I saw, that was it for now, Kai.
All right, Ian, you're coming through a little quiet for me. I don't know if that's for everybody.
Am I? Okay.
Maybe
I'll try and speak up a little bit. Thank you.
Yeah, that'll be great. All right, I'll shut up and let you take it away.
Well, thank you so much, and good afternoon, good morning to everybody. For those, again, that haven't seen Foxit before, today I'm going to give you a nice overview and walkthrough. But please, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll be able to do a little Q&A session here at the end. But without further ado, really, again, those who haven't used the Foxit PDF editor, I'm going to give you a nice jump start to actually using it. But we're really just starting at taking a look at the UI and the user interface. It should look and feel pretty familiar. And that's actually by design. Of course, being a Microsoft Gold partner, we're able to utilize the Office ribbon that they use in Outlook, Excel, Word, you name it. So it's the exact same look and feel. We have everything sectioned into tabs up at the top here. So again, if we want to do some organization, there's all of our tools ready to go. So it's the exact same ribbon coming from Microsoft Office. We can right click and customize this ribbon, of course, just like you can in Office as well. If you'd like to add anything to the home toolbar here, if you'd like to create or manage your own keyboard shortcuts, or if there's any kind of icons up at the very top left for the quick access toolbar, again, you'll be able to customize that again with no issues. So it isn't a look-alike or a mimic, it is the Office ribbon toolbar, and hopefully that does help you get a bit of a jump start and just feel comfortable kind of figure out where to go up at the top. But again, I'm going to go through all the tabs up at the top, show some workflows and examples and highlight some differences and of course some nifty tools that we have that others don't have natively, and be able to, again, highlight and show those for you. But just to get started here, I want to go just to the left of home, and I want to start with the file menu, and let's go over our vertical UI here. Of course, by simply starting with opening. Of course, we can double click on a PDF and open it on our computer, but just like Office, we have the add a place function. If you have anybody currently on SharePoint, iManage, OneDrive, Google Drive, you name it, they'll be able to log into their cloud document management system, check out that file, reorganize it, re-edit it, and check it back into the cloud. So more than, of course, just opening anything recent or on the computer, any kind of enterprise document management system can be used here as well. Of course, create, a lot of these are on the Convert tab up at the top, but all the different ways that we can create files, even things like combining, creating PDF portfolios. Maybe we want to create something from the scanner. But the Properties tab, very important. Starting with description, we can take a look at how a document was printed or created. And then from there, we'll be able to change initial view settings if we would like to customize those. But very popular is the Security tab, where you're allowed to see simply what we're allowed or not allowed to do to a PDF file based on document restrictions or password protection that's been applied. Of course, you can save as, but Foxit also comes with its own printer. So print any kind of file types to PDF, just as you were doing with your existing software, but being able to change the print handling, the orientation, what we're exactly printing, so just the document and maybe comments as well. But also up at the top, we'd be able to use properties to use a default setting. If we always want to print to the highest quality or compress and go ahead and print to the smallest file size, the printer will be able to, again, have those same defaults as well. But back up to File, we'll be able to share documents. Of course, be able to use the PDF optimizer to reduce the file size on a current file or a whole folder. Or we do have a more advanced tool here to really get in there, remove fonts, any kind of attachments and things like that. Of course, full indexing when it comes to creating those full text indexes with a catalog from all those PDF files. And lastly, Action Wizard. For currently using or managing and creating custom actions, you'll be able to do those as well. Things like OCR and saving a file, making a document more accessible, making it ready and archiving it and getting it ready to be a PDFA. Be able to quickly change the skins, the light mode, any kind of coloring here on the software, but really want to highlight all the customizations that a user can make, especially again if they're coming from a current PDF software and they would like to customize. Maybe they want to always open a file into a new window instead of a new tab like here in the software. Down in languages, you can quickly change the UI from English to quite a number here. But even more advanced options like how we're going to handle security features like the protected view or privilege locations or signatures within the software as well. And I highly recommend the search function up at the top if you're trying to find something specific. Search for it, hit that checkbox, and again, customize the experience to be exactly how you'd like it to be. But starting with conversion next, of course, we can highlight a group of files. If I'd like to use my File Explorer, let's highlight, right-click, and we'll be able to use the context menu, just as you would with other software, to convert, combine, or batch print using Foxit. So, of course, if somebody likes to highlight files, they can also drag a file, like this Word file, right into the software. It'll convert and print from Word to PDF automatically. Then I'll be able to create a form out of my HIPAA document here. There we go. But of course, they can use the toolbar up at the top to create anything from a file or a whole folder to be converted. Creation from a scanner, combining files, and you got it. So be able to do all the kind of conversion and creation, and we have all of those same workflows as well. So if a user expects to click and drag or right-click to convert, no issues there. But also, again, converting from PDF to Word, Excel, or back to PowerPoint can be done here on the Convert tab, or running OCR, or optical character recognition, especially if we're scanning on a piece of paper or taking a picture on our phone. If we would like to create searchable or editable text from that image, you'll be able to use the OCR tool just like you can today. On the Edit tab, of course, all the editing options as you would expect, ways to edit text. Of course, just click and we'll be able to see and edit any of the text within our highlighted areas. And of course, we can also use the Format tab on the right-hand side, just like Office, to change any font, color, size, anything that we would need. But also we have a built-in image editor. We can use the Edit Object tool to double-click on an image, and there we go. A lot of familiar tools up at the very top. Maybe a brush or a burn tool or a dodge, but if I just wanted to maybe make this be black and white or a quick filter, there we go. And again, it's built into the software. I just right-clicked, changed the image, and I didn't have to export it or use a different kind of image editor. Check spelling, search and replace. Of course, we're able to add text and images to our document. Different ways to edit, including a reflow editing mode or an article box mode to move text around images like below. Clickable links, or of course, generating quick bookmarks can be done here. It's going to open up the bookmark panel. Now I can just maybe add a quick title, or you'll see all the different bookmarks from within here that I can use. Now let me go ahead. I'm going to right click and delete all of these bookmarks because we do have a tool within here called Auto Create Bookmarks. So this doesn't come natively within things like Acrobat today, but Foxit does have it for every user. It's going to save a lot of time, allow you to, again, auto create bookmarks just based on maybe a font or a size that I have within here. If I just click OK, it's going to scan through my document. Again, it's going to automatically create everything for me. And that's it. So now, once all of these are created, if I need to just simply edit them, I can. So there we go. Created 24 bookmarks based on the font here in the header. So now if I need to, I'll just be able to click through and work with the document. And now I can right click again, go to properties and edit any of these bookmark properties, change the appearance, or more specifically, the action of exactly where this bookmark is going to go. To finish up here in the Edit tab, cross-referencing, file attachments, we can embed image annotations, audio and video as well into PDFs, and also support for 3D PDF files. All right, hopping along to the Organize tab, and on the left, I'm going to go down to the Page View, and now I can actually look at the document from a top-down perspective. Let me open this back up. If I slide it out, I'll be able to see the whole PDF. So now if I want to right-click and interact with it, I can delete the first page or crop it. Let me go ahead and maybe shift-click and grab the first half of this file. So now if I want to rotate, maybe print this to a new PDF file, I'll be able to do that here. So just being able to quickly interact with the document, maybe I'll take the map and drag it to the end there. There we go. Maybe I want to take this map, maybe drag it up to another file and then back down and copy the map over here to this new document. You can drag them around, interact with them, and work with the documents to get them organized very quickly. It's one of the ways I think Foxit really does shine is with quick and easy organization. And then from there, if you want to use the tools up at the top, you can just select a page, use those as well. But different ways to split a document that can be done via number of pages, a file size, maybe you have documents split with blank pages in between. Another tool here called interleaving. This is another one that doesn't come natively in PDF software, but Foxit has it added here for everybody. It's a way to merge files, or as they say, interleave them together, but it's also going to alternate the documents as they're merged. Very big with production, legal documents, medical documents, things like that. But quick rotation, cropping and resizing can also be done here on the Organize tab. Creating a watermark, background, or a quick header footer, of course, can be done here too. We have built-in macros, so if you just want to maybe add a page number, there we go. Let's go to the right footer, maybe add a date or apply the file name to the document as well. There we go. And you also will always get a preview down at the bottom. So if you need to change the margin, get things to fit a bit better or move it around, you'll always have that preview available. But same with Bates numbering. Again, comes with Acrobat Pro, but every user is going to get the ability to use the Bates numbering tool to renumber legal medical documents typically that are being renumbered. Right, again, moving along to comments. You guessed it, this is where we have all of the comments added. Quick highlight of text, just go ahead and select it and highlight it. There you go. But with different strike throughs and underlines can be added if I just want to click and add a note to my document and go ahead and type that comment directly. There we go. Or maybe we just want to draw a text box on here and add our comment on here. Or lastly, the call out tool. I can actually click and drag and point to exactly what I'm leaving my comment on so the editor can see that. But all the comment tools you would suspect, area highlighting, measuring, but a big one here is the accounting calculator. Again, another very popular plugin with things like Acrobat, but we have it native. Everyone's able to do a quick calculation. If you just want to show my work, there we go. We're able to create we'll go ahead and have a test title here, but for any line items, if you need to add comments for all of these, of course, those can be edited as well. Change the decimaling, the rounding, you can even add things like the date and time before creating that tape. There it is. It's going to show my entire work, all the calculations. So if I need to put it right next to what, again, I'm trying to show my work on, there we go. So again, the accounting calculator can do that calculation and create that PDF comment for a user. Stamps are, of course, a very another popular one. We're able to have dynamic or just static standard image stamps that can be added. But for a dynamic stamp, for instance, I can click and drag and go ahead and add my approval here, but it's going to show my name, the date, and the exact time that it was added and have that dynamic information. Of course, custom stamps, we can create or just upload an image to be used as a stamp, but even create our own custom dynamic stamps that's going to show that information down below. A lot of symbols pre-built in here for a wide variety of industries. Of course, you just want to add a quick recalculated symbol, tax return, or a sum, and be able to select those. But numbers can be added and incremented as they're actually used. So let me go ahead and start with number 1, 2, 3. So now I'm just adding the comment. It's going to auto increment and also be able to do that with lettering. And once we're done, we can summarize all of these comments and actually export them a variety of different ways, like connecting lines pointing to them. If you want to have a sequence of numbers, again, actually attaching to the comment and where it's being left on. So different ways you'll be able to export all of that. All right, the View tab, pretty self-explanatory. A lot of different view modes when it just comes to how we want to take a look at the document. We can turn a ruler off and on, but the big one here is the read out loud function and the compare tool. Somebody needs to compare two documents to see text changes, changes in table information, and so on. They'll still be able to compare those PDF files. All right, next, the Form tab. Again, pretty self-explanatory. Be able to create PDF forms. So I'll be able to run the form field recognition here. It's going to scan through my document, and there we go. It's going to add checkboxes, any kind of text areas, even signature boxes. I can click down here and now sign with my Windows certificate. And now if any of these need to be edited, we can actually on the left here, select the Fields tab, double click any of these, and we'll be able to edit the text field properties for each of these on a form. So if we're changing general information, set something to be read only, maybe this is a required field, there we go. Be able to change the appearance, the positioning of it, but a lot of different options when it comes to text field properties, default values, alignments, things that we want to limit characters, check spelling, or maybe just have this be a multi-line text box. Somebody can type in a lot of information. But this is a format box. We know this is a date box, so we'll be able to choose that, but numbers, percentages, even time, special, or custom format boxes can be created if they're needed. But there we go. We'll choose the month, date, the year. We'll continue on. But any kind of extra JavaScript validation needs to be added, can be done here. Any kind of calculation as well. Just choose exactly how we want to calculate it and then pick the fields to calculate together. Or lastly, a lot of custom actions. So if we wanted to maybe have a trigger to reset a form, if we have a push button to run some specific JavaScript, or if we have a submit button at the end of this document, we'll be able to also customize exactly how this PDF form will be submitted to us. So that full customization when it comes to creating forms, adding tooltips, and of course, even importing, exporting, or using the JavaScript up here at the top. All right, moving over to protect, where of course we can redact information by adding the black boxes over kinds of text, images. We can also search and redact and just quickly find something like a social security number, some basic kind of format when it comes to redacting information. But like Kai mentioned, we have the Smart Redact tool. Now Foxit is the only ones on the market that have this kind of AI-based redaction. It's going to look for a lot more advanced information when it comes to medical documents. Maybe it's good to find a symptom or a blood type or a group ID number for an insurance company. Maybe we want to look at government and legal information to find an IBAN number US passport number, for instance. Again, it's going to be able to find a lot more advanced information than there's more the typical redaction today to help that user find it so it can actually be removed from a document. Again, this is the Smart Redact, and it does use AI-based redaction to help find this formatting and material for a user. We also have whiteout, kind of the inverse, where we're able to white out a section of a document and delete it very safely, because it's also going to delete that content, that metadata, anything pointing to a top title or header existing here. So the whiteout tool is a nice secure way to delete information. And then once we're done, let's add a password and let's protect this document. We can apply a password here, or also add document restrictions, so no printing or editing, and we can lock down our PDF files as well. Integrations with Azure, AIP here, especially when it comes to sensitivity labels. Of different kinds of signature, we have fill and sign, where I can just click and sign a document by adding an image. I can also go to the Protect tab and sign and certify with a Windows certificate. I'm going to put my signature here. And now I'll be able to choose which certificate to sign with, and of course, how I would like to customize that signature. But lastly, we do have Foxit e-sign when it comes to signature requests. So for a file like this one right here, I can just go ahead and request a signature on this document. Easy as that. Let me go ahead and delete the map here, or the pages here at the end. I'm going to click on request signature, and let's go ahead and upload this for signature. But that's all it's going to do. It's going to open up a new tab for me, and now I'll be able to go through the e-sign process. I can add more documents if I need more documents and more pages to be reviewed and signed. Simply choose exactly who I want to send it to. Just type in their email, and using your address book, be able to accept. And we do have different levels for authentication, depending on compliance, SMS or maybe email, mobile, or phone two-factor to verify that user. We can also enforce a signing sequence. If I need the user to fill out and sign, and then maybe add me and initiate to me once they're done, we'll be able to build that sequencing. And also an option here for in-person signing. If we have somebody at a front desk, a kiosk, if they're just handing over a laptop or a tablet to somebody, they'll be able to enable that in-person signing and actually select who was the witness there for that signature session. That's really it. We'll save. We'll be able to see our document. We can even click and drag and add a signature field for them to sign. But of course, if we're using something like a template, we'll just select the template and send it out for signature. Oh, I need 2 signature boxes. That's right. Now I need my other user to sign here. There we go. So we can have multiple users, again, having those different areas. That's it. We'll be able to choose the email that we would like to have when the user actually receives that invitation and send it out for signature. But more than just sending out a document for signature, if I need to, up at the top, look at document status. There we go. It's going to open up another tab. I'll be able to take a look at all the documents I've sent out for signature, and maybe if something is executed here, I'll be able to open it up, download it, review it, or if for a second, I think I'm back. Okay. If something is completely executed, of course, we'll be able to review it, but if something is only partially signed, we'll be able to open it up and send that reminder to a user to please e-sign this document and complete the process. So everything is built into the software. You don't have to go to an external browser or anything. You can even send in bulk and create online forms to send that user a link. So a lot of different ways we'll be able to use e-sign within the product. But quickly here, the Share tab. A lot of different ways to share documents with integrations with Evernote and OneNote. But this is where we have our comment collaboration. You're able to generate and create these comment sessions, send them out to users, and then they're able to add comments to your document. It's not a full editing, but they're able to share and allow comment collaboration for PDF files. Lastly, accessibility. Of course, this is a very big one to make our documents more accessible, and every user will get that with Foxit. To auto tag documents and form fields, perform full checks, or generate accessibility reports. Or my favorite is the setup assistant. It's basically a wizard. It'll walk you through exactly how to make the document most accessible, all the different options that are available to, again, help that user walk through it. But if you need to change the reading order, set an area reading order, maybe set alternate text to icons, images, logos, you'll be able to do that manually afterwards. There's a lot of help built into the software, and a couple of things I would recommend here. The AI Support Center built in, you can ask it direct questions about the application. That's it. It's just going to help you by accessing and using our user manual that's also built in locally in the application. Highly recommend it. It is a 500-page user manual, but it is fully detailed, bookmarked, searchable. It's going to give you a best practice 1, 2, 3 on how to pretty much do anything, and I highly recommend it. But once you first open the software, you can go down to video tutorials right here. And these are links to our YouTube page. Just like Kai mentioned, if you like to have that 1 or 2 minute video that'll walk you along how to edit, organize, or annotate and add comments using the Foxit editor, highly recommend these videos as well. But again, because I mentioned, we are using the Microsoft Office ribbon up at the top here. If you hover over a lot of the tools, hit Tell Me More, just like you would in Office. It's going to give you that exact same best practice and tips, 1, 2, 3. How do I get the most out of exporting images out of my PDF? And lastly, if you are brand new to the software up at the top, just go ahead and maybe if you want to use redaction, type in redact and you'll immediately be able to use the AI redaction, the built-in mark for redact, or any of the other tools here. Again, so if you're, new to the software, you're not sure where to go, just type the tool in up at the top and you'll immediately be able to edit text. There we go. All right, now I'm going to hop over and show our admin console that's used for license management, things like SSO and login. All right, so we'll hop here to adminconsole.foxit.com, and after getting logged in, we'll be able to set up user management. All right, let's hop down to the Users tab, and once we set up any kind of Active Directory and SSO, users will be included here into the console. But if we need to send an invited user just an email password invitation, we also have that as well. So a couple of different ways we're able to get users into the console and start that invitation. We can then upgrade any user to an admin role. We have multiple admins that need to be accessing a console. Of course, we can have different levels and have different admins be able to access all of it. Next, we have license management. I do be able to show how many actual products they're activating on, but also the allowed devices. If they only have 1 login, 2, or up to 3 allowed devices, they'll be listed here as well. And you'll also be able to see how many e-sign envelopes and smart redact documents that user has used through their license. Next, on the Products tab, we can do more than just issuing a license. We can actually customize the software from here too, like turning off the AI, like you mentioned earlier. But for any product, for Windows, we'll be able to click here and download the latest MSI installer. For Mac, we have the PKG here available for all those users. Access to the Editor Cloud, iOS and Android, and eSign here under the Editor Plus license. But if we need to configure anything, we have a lot of options for configuring Foxit eSign, but let's start here with configuring and customizing the editor products. So for any IT admins, you're able to come here and set things like an offline availability time. So if a user logs in on their machine, their laptop, their phone, but then they're disconnected from the internet, they'll still be able to have that local license to use Foxit for up to 14 days to make edits, reorganize without signing back in to the product. But also automatic deactivation. If somebody isn't using a license, let's go ahead and automatically remove that license. So you'll be able to set parameters here to automatically, again, remove the license from that user. And lastly, MAC address range restriction. If we need to restrict a user to only sign in on a company device, for instance, we'll have that control. Next, we have access policies. Again, because we're just issuing 1 license to a user and they have access to our entire product line. Here, if you just need that flexibility to turn off the AI, to turn off access to the cloud or maybe mobile, again, you'll just be able to control access across the entire board to all of these. And lastly, feature settings. like the AI, because we're adding a lot more advanced services into our products. For each of these, Windows, Mac, editor, or the browser-based version of the cloud and mobile, we're able to customize each of these individually. So for Windows, for instance, we're able to turn off the cloud documents or the Foxit storage, and also access to the comment collaboration, just like that. The AI, the e-sign, and the smart redact. If we want those removed, all we have to do is hit save, and anybody getting a license from our console won't have or even see the AI tab, the e-sign tab, or the smart redact button under the protect tab. But we are able to offer maybe specific users access and be able to control, again, have flexibility across these entire cloud services. Right, enterprise customization, of course, having the logo in there is very nice, but want to quickly highlight email templates. For inviting users via email, they'll receive an email. For inviting them or adding them to an Active Directory group and having them set up using SSO, they'll receive a different email. We're able to customize each of these. So if a user is receiving an email, again, we'll be able to tailor that messaging. Give them help desk callbacks, exactly what to go or where to go and what to do, just basic 1, 2, 3. So again, we'll be able to initiate or customize the email that's sent to them when they get their license. Support is built in, of course. Coming from a PDF provider, we have great PDFs for all of our products, especially the admin console. If you need to create a support ticket or manage any of those, you'll be able to view that here. You can even pick up the phone and call us directly. But you'll have access to, of course, our Foxit support team to help with all of that. I guess, sorry, the last one I skipped over here was the reporting. I definitely want to show we have full transparency when it comes to that reporting. Not just who's, activating the different products that are being used, but up at the top, we're able to go to usage details and see the full transparency again of who's signing in, how often, where, the device, the IP. So you can see who's claiming a license to use a product, be able to search through it, export it. Again, have that full transparency to see who's using a license and how often, because they are your licenses. So be able to manage them exactly how you would like to. All right, I know that was a lot going over our Foxit PDF editor, also the e-sign in our admin console here. But I guess any questions within the chat that we can jump back and highlight anything, Kai? See, oh, I can actually open up the chat here as well. Perfect.
I think there was a question about, can we calculate based on fields?
Use the calculate feature in that. So there is no, oh, I see. We're just using, so we're just doing calculation with form fields. That's one thing. So let me hop back here. If we go to the form tab, yeah, if we're doing calculations, let me go ahead and maybe select, let's go back to this form. With any of these, we're able to select a field and do a quick calculation. That's going to maybe sum two fields together, and you can export that answer to another field. You can average them, minimum, all the kind of simple calculations can be done here. But if we're going and maybe using the comment tool to do an accounting calculation, those would be separate. If I'm understanding the question, that is. Let me hop back here. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tanya. We want this form on our website. So yes, Aretha, let me go ahead and show you. So if we actually use Foxit e-sign, so let's say I have this form right here, I can go ahead and just click on create online form. And honestly, that's really it. It's going to go ahead and create a form for me to use. It's going to give me a link. I've got a lot of different links here, a lot of different forms. So yeah, again, I'll be able to copy this link and I'll just be able to send it to you via email, via SMS, however, or wherever you have a browser, you'll just be able to click on that link, fill out that form and be done. You'll be able to send that same link to multiple users. And actually, let me hop here so you can actually see when it comes with that, if I wanted to select a form here, I can do an online form or a link and then just send that link to a user. They click on that link, they fill out that form. So if we're doing yearly paperwork, again, we can send that same link to everybody and get all the different responses here, all within one sheet.
Hey, Ian, one clarification question. The online forms capability, is that a feature of the PDF Editor Plus, or do you need to have eSign Business for that?
I believe it may be an upgrade to business. Let me double check. There were some changes to that, but now, yeah, you're right, Kai. I believe it is a business upgrade. But if we're wanting to use links and forms, that's exactly how we would do it. You're very welcome.
Other questions?
Yeah, anything else we can help with this time?
Yeah, there was the question about, is Foxit a Chinese company? Yes, we were formed in 2000 or founded in 2001 in China. Headquarters of the company has been in California for more than a decade now. The intellectual property is not in China. We moved it, given the geopolitical strain that we've been seeing over the last years. Intellectual property was moved out of China. There are no servers or no data or documents are ever going to China. Everything's on AWS right here in the United States. But I think one of the questions earlier also was, can I turn cloud and AI off? And the answer is yes, so that no data leaves your PC.
You got it. And the actual Foxit application itself is HIPAA ready. I mean, it doesn't store or transmit any kind of PDF data or anything within a document. Within the admin console as well, we don't do any kind of feature tracking. We can't tell you exactly who's clicking what or what kind of files they're opening. We can just tell you who's claiming a license and what kind of machine that they're using it on. So yeah, all that's in the admin console.
All right. Any other questions that we can answer? It's like everyone is happy.
Yeah, this was incredible. I saw so many features. Like you can make a magazine, you can do so many things with this product. I was impressed. I was sitting back because I wanted to learn. I learned a lot, and I'm sure there's much more. So I would love for you guys to come back and just kind
Yeah.
of really show us a little bit more. A lot.
Plan to be back once a quarter with a webinar at a minimum. So from that perspective, just
Awesome.
need the plan to keep on coming back and maybe explore some specific use cases around specific business problems that people need to be able to solve and so on.
Mm,
Look
okay.
forward to coming back with that, maybe with a customer that a nonprofit that's using the technology, kind of review what they're doing and how they solve those problems using Foxit's tech. So that's our vision, is to try to make sure that it's relevant and specific to what people care about in the nonprofit space.
That would be great. So everybody, if you're watching, remember there's going to be a survey that's going to pop up when you close your window. If you would like Foxit to talk about anything else, maybe when you close the window, you say, you know what, I want to know about this. You can put that question in the survey. We'll send it to them. We're going to send their information along with the video replay of this webinar. And hi, and Ian, thank you so much for being here today. And thank you, Allison and Haley in the background from TechSoup. Have a great day, everybody.
For having us.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.